The woman noticed the Seoul monster scratched its head just like she always did. She thought it was only a coincidence, but that night, she saw on the news that the monster threw something the same way she had thrown her phone in the morning. She began to wonder if she could control the monster in Seoul. Just a few days earlier, a giant monster suddenly appeared in Seoul. It went wild, ran through the city, and stomped on everything. But after a few minutes, it disappeared in a strange way. She carefully watched all the monster videos. She finally realized that every morning at 7:30, if she stood in a certain part of the park, the monster would appear in Seoul and copy her exact movements. So she brought her friends to the park. They opened the live news from Seoul. When they saw the monster on the screen dancing the same way, all three of them were stunned. Right when Annie was feeling proud, the Korean military launched missiles at the monster. Annie felt the pain too.
They're shooting at you. Missiles.
They're shooting at me?
She swung her fists at the air in anger and accidentally hit a helicopter. When she realized she had killed the pilot, Annie panicked and tried to leave the area, but she slipped and fell to the ground. After Annie woke up, she learned that many people were hurt or killed in Seoul. Before she could calm down, Mike brought more news. A giant robot had appeared in Seoul. He believed it was him because only he had stepped into the zone while helping Annie. To show how sorry she felt, Annie went into the zone again. She used a note with Korean words and wrote, "Sorry," on the ground. After it was shown on the news, people began to think differently. They believed the monster meant no harm. From that day on, Annie never entered the park again. While Annie was out on a date, Mike became jealous. It turned out he had secretly liked her for a long time. Out of anger, he stepped into the zone just to mess around. She told Mike to get out of the area, but he refused. In frustration, she slapped him. But to the people watching in Seoul, it looked like the monster was protecting humans by kicking out the robot. In an instant, the monster became a symbol of justice. People even made memes about it. That night, while Annie was still upset, she opened her door and saw Mike had entered without permission. He came to confess his love. He had helped Annie all this time because he had loved her since they were kids. As they talked, Annie realized how controlling he really was. Then she remembered something from childhood. Her paper craft was blown away by the wind. Mike said he would help get it back, but instead, he stomped on it behind her back, and Annie saw it all. At that moment, a bolt of lightning suddenly struck them in the park. She was working on a monster craft, and Mike was making a robot. That lightning gave them both superpowers. Once Annie remembered everything, she told him straight up how twisted his thinking was. Mike stopped pretending. He gave her an evil grin and ran into the park ahead of her. He wanted to get back at Annie by destroying everything. Annie stood up to him bravely, but she was too weak to win. After just a few moves, Mike knocked her down. She lay there, watching helplessly as he stomped around the area. Before he left, he warned her, "If you ever leave this town, I'll cause chaos every morning." Annie, being kind and powerless, was left in tears. Annie went home, full of despair. Then a bold plan came to her. To save innocent people far away, she quickly booked a flight and left for Seoul before morning came. Sure enough, when Mike realized Annie was gone, he rushed to the park to vent his anger. A second later, the steel giant appeared in the streets of Seoul and started causing chaos downtown. But just as he lifted his heavy foot to crush someone, the ground behind him started to shake. Before he could react, the monster from Korea appeared right in front of him.